Alright guys, it's Stephen here, back with another transfer target video. We're going to be talking about all the big transfer news currently flying around the world at Manchester City. And the best place as well to do that, if I'm not making a video of course, is OneFootball. Yep, the wonderful people over at OneFootball are supporting my channel, and it's an absolutely fantastic app that costs you absolutely £0. Go and click it in the link in the description below and download the app and immerse yourself into all the football goodness and transfer news that you need to know about Manchester City Football Club. Go and download it in the link in the description below right now and you won't regret it, I promise you. It also looks shiny and new with all the new graphics. It's beautiful, it's wonderful. Anyway, I also want to say thank you to my latest patrons, these three absolute heroes: Matthew Cato, thank you so much Matthew, and also Philip Mutini and Danny Mister in the $10 tier there. Those guys will get access, the $10 tier guys will get access to some more exclusive content coming up on the channel for YouTube members and $10 tier patrons and above. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate more than you can possibly imagine. It makes all these videos and all this full-time commitment to it absolutely works. So thank you. Patreon.com/Esteemed Company if you want to get involved. Matthew, Philip, Danny, heroes. But let's get on to today's video. We're going to talk about Koulibaly, a bit about Garcia as well, and a bit about Angelino. But we're going to have to start with Koulibaly. Guys, it's happening. Don't know why I'm drumming the table like this and you can't even see it, but it's happening. It's getting very, 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 very close. And obviously now the fact that Manchester City, their season is finished, unfortunately, and we don't talk about that anymore. I mean, the season's not, it never ended, it just didn't happen. That's what I like to pretend. But now the fact that the season is finished, it looks like City are stepping up quite aggressively their transfer demands now. And given that the way that the season finished, unfortunately, which we don't talk about, I can imagine City are quite urgent to get everything done because the next season, the 2021 season, wow, that's so soon, is only a few weeks away. It's literally only a few weeks away. So City really want to get basically their house in order. And now, according to the latest reports coming out of Italy, loads of journalists are saying that City essentially are going to get this done. And apparently inside the next few days, which is very exciting. Now, Gazzetta and a bunch of journalists are saying that City have raised their offer of 63 million euros to closer to 70 million euros. And at this point, this is the figure that Aurelio De Laurentiis, Napoli's president or whatever he is, I don't know, their dictator, let's be honest, they'll accept this deal. It could go ahead in a matter of hours, according to someone else, in terms of the deal. And Koulibaly has apparently practically agreed a 5-year deal at Manchester City. Now, I don't think there was any doubt that Koulibaly was always going to agree a contract with City in terms of wages and all that kind of stuff. That was never really in doubt. But this is very exciting news. According to City Extra as well, the good lads over at City Extra, Freddie's written an article saying that City are confident that they can complete the deal within the next 10 days. I think a week from now, we probably will be a Manchester City player. That's my personal take. I don't really see any massive delay now on this. I think Koulibaly is ready to be a Manchester City player. I think Napoli and City just want to get this deal done and get it over the line. And I think largely we should be excited by it. I know 70 million euros is a lot. Let me see. How much is 70 million euros in pounds? 63 million pounds. All right, £63 million is an awful lot. But what I will say largely is he does have time. I know people talk about his age and all this kind of stuff, but once again, I want to talk about his age in a realistic sense. He's literally a week older than Kevin De Bruyne. So essentially, he's like, I mean, in terms of age, he's not far up being De Bruyne's twin. I guess that doesn't work that way. But the point is, he's more or less exactly the same age as Kevin De Bruyne. You would be mad not to take it. Now, obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the world and hasn't come off the back of a poor season and wouldn't be moving to a new league and all that kind of stuff. I do appreciate that. But what I'm going to say is that he's not even nearly 30. He won't turn 30 until this next season is over. So he'll be 29 all this season. There's one season. He'll be 30 all the season after that. He'll be 31 all the season after that. 32 all the season after that. That's 4 seasons there where you can reasonably expect him to be pretty much at the height of his game still physically, because these days defenders go on and on. So 4 seasons. Why not 5 seasons when he's 33 all season? That's not even unrealistic. Look at the likes of Ramos playing at a high level, John Terry, Vincent Kompany, PK, loads of players play at a high level these days as centre-backs, and that is not even unreasonable to suggest that. It's just a thing these days where footballers are more fit and more physically capable than they used to be. So I'm not really worried about time. If we get a good 4 or 5 years out of Koulibaly and he helps us improve exponentially in defence while also giving time for these young players to develop that we got through potentially maybe Adebayo or Harwood Bellis, or not the guy I'm about to talk about next. But either way, the point is, it doesn't neuter us in terms of the long run. I don't mind this idea, and I really like the idea of Koulibaly coming to Manchester City. I've got no doubt that whatsoever that his form this season has been temporary. He's had 5 or 6 years of high quality football before that. And also, I believe Gattuso's a poor manager. I think he is. I think he's Roy Keane of Italian football. And I think largely Guardiola would do an awful lot of good for Koulibaly. I think he would raise his game immediately, get him in those rondos, get him that organised, and I think his physicality and his leadership alongside the Port would be absolutely wonderful. Typically, just as I recorded this, I finished recording it and I quickly looked on Twitter, and according to all the aggregators from City Report and Extra and everyone, apparently Koulibaly's entourage, there hasn't been a raise of City's offer. And Napoli are breaking on the acceleration, therefore the deal will not be closed soon. I don't know, there's lots of information going around. I think it's negotiating tactics, and personally my take on this is still, I think it'll be done inside the next week to 10 days. I think there's just a lot of caution and a lot of kind of to and fro going in the press, but I'm still confident it'll happen. Anyway, despite that tweet, I think it'll happen still. Next on this video today, Eric Garcia. Now, Barcelona, according to reports, they want to really step up the move for Garcia this week. City don't want to lose Garcia allegedly on the cheap, but nor do they want him to leave on a free in 12 months' time, which is very, very true. Barcelona have obviously got a massive rebuild going on. I mean, I would 8-2 to beat Barcelona right now. Sorry, absolutely terrible. I mean, I can't really talk. We got beat by Leon. I mentioned it. But yeah, unfortunately, Barcelona are in a bigger state than Manchester City are. So it means they want to rebuild their defence. I'm sure they probably will want to rebuild their defence. And Garcia could be a big part of that. They want him this summer, basically. And obviously, City don't want to lose him. I reckon City will end up getting around 20 million euros we've had on. I think that's probably a fair price as well. Personally, I really like Eric Garcia as a footballer. Technically, I think he's fantastic. I think he's a really intelligent, very likeable lad, as I've said a few times in these videos. But honestly, I don't really see a long-term, unless something happens, unless like he magically just grows up and gets bigger and stronger and faster. I don't really see a long-term future at centre-back in the way that Manchester City play anyway. We play such a high line, and even though he did well to track the Lyon defender the other day, I do wonder, if he actually just had 2 yards extra pace, would he have just not had to slide tackle him? Would he have actually just been able to get him, catch up to him, and then just win the ball properly? I'll never know. I'm not going to blame him, certainly, for that. The point is, he has physical limitations that I think will always kind of hamper how he wants to play in this system, how Manchester City want him to play in this system. And Garcia, I think it's probably in everyone's best interest, once again, to get good money for him. Let him go play in a league where he'd be more suitable. He is literally a Catalan lad. It's his hometown club. I would not blame him in a heartbeat if he wanted to go back there. I think it'd be a good situation for everyone. We know we played him for a few games. I don't really think he should have been involved in that Lyon game, just given this scenario at the moment, and for physicality and selection reasons, but also just because if a player wants to leave, I don't really think they should be involved. I know they're professionals and mature, but I genuinely believe that's a situation that City shouldn't put themselves in. But that's, you're entitled to disagree with that, but that's just a principle thing. I always would rather focus on players who want to be at the club. Good lad, though, and I wish him the best as well. Angelino, this is the latest bit about Angelino. Apparently, according to Guillem Ballack. Now, Guillem has obviously got a very indifferent reputation, but he's largely kind of respected in the industry as being a pretty good guy, and he has some connections. I nearly said Barcelona connections, he doesn't anymore. He has some connections in general with the Spanish contingent, the Spanish players, and he reckons that Angelino is confident that Manchester City he'll stay at Manchester City next season, and he will get absolutely loads of minutes there as well and get a chance. And personally, I kind of want this to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, Manchester City will continue to have left-back problems, I'm sure, next season. But Angelino really has warranted a proper go. Not like a couple of games here and there where he doesn't get a run. Like 5-10 games. Give him an actual go in a system that he's actually useful in. And if City are going to sign Koulibaly as well, and we'll have Ake, what's to say that next season Manchester City won't line up 3 at the back every now and then and actually have a wing-back who can play and is proven himself at a very high level now, Angelino, in this system and be very useful. Angelino is a left wing back. He can play left back, admittedly, he can do, but Angelino is definitely a left wing back by default. So why not give him a go in that system? I really like Zinchenko, but he is not the solution. I like him as a footballer and as a person, but he's just... Zinchenko's best position is clearly where he plays for his national side as a holding midfielder. That kind of number 6 where you can do a little bit of that kind of like... you can almost like as a quarterback, dictating play, nipping the ball. He's obviously, and Zinchenko's defensive capabilities have improved because he's playing at left back, but he's still not good enough to be a left back in my personal opinion. But he's also good enough defensively to play in midfield, I reckon. Zinchenko's long-term future is not a left back. So I think we should kind of just nip that one in the bud. I think he might end up going, Zinchenko. I might be wrong, but I think he might end up going. And I would be fine next season if he went into the season with Mendy and Angelino. I mean, I still would like maybe something secure long term, but at least they're both actual left backs. And then Cancelo can play there, of course, as well. I would be totally fine with this. I think Angelino had a rough start at Manchester City in pre-season and never really recovered. I think he had a few games where he started to show some form, but sometimes it can be very difficult to get back on your feet. And I think this move to Leipzig has kind of really reinvigorated him. He's an intelligent footballer. He's a good footballer. We just need him to settle in. And given the fact that he'll cost absolutely nothing and he's a better bet than Zinchenko, in my personal opinion, I think it makes an awful lot of sense to get Angelino back in and give him an actual go. Either way, I'm expecting the squad next season to look a lot different than it does this season. Guys, this is the point where it's going to really start, I think, ticking over big time now. I suspect City will be really keen to get their squad sorted. We've already got Ake through the door. We've already got Torres through the door. Koulibaly, I'm sure he's only... we'd probably be done within a week. Who else? Who knows who else is going to come in? We apparently are after a striker, whoever that's going to be. Housamau has been strongly linked over the past few days. I absolutely have no idea who else is going to come in, but I'm certain it doesn't end at Koulibaly. I reckon there might be a surprise or two next season. And I say bring it on. I want a little bit of freshening up on the squad. Guys, all these guys here. Scrolling down, which side are we? I can always forget which side. I think it's this side. Or is it that side? Either way, these are my patrons who help keep this channel going. Seriously, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. If you want to be part of the team. These guys are heroes. I love you all loads. Honestly, Leo, you're literally paying for me my rent. Thank you so much. And also, anyone who can't get involved, I don't blame you at all. But seriously, just keep that... But just liking this video and hitting the subscribe button is more than enough. It helps me more than you could possibly realise. Don't forget as well, twitch.tv/Esteemed Company if you want to see me video gaming away. Go check out some of the other videos on screen and there'll be more coming up very, very soon. I'll probably do a live stream later. In a bit, love you all.